How to manifest life-changing opportunities. Listen, you're about to watch a presentation I just did at Geekout, New York City, the most exclusive, epic, tight-knit gangster group of online marketers on the planet. Over $100 million a month with these guys are spending on ads inside of this room, and I couldn't have been more proud to drop in my presentation on how to manifest life-changing opportunities, how to get the biggest opportunities in the world to fall into your lap. Sit down. This is a gangster one. Check this out. You don't want to miss it.
All right, next up, we have Peter Kell, VSL God, creator of Genius.ai, exited as a very successful skincare brand, wrote for Mind Valley, like a lot of different really cool things, and a person that I really like, and I've seen kind of his evolution from media buyer to where he's at today, ups and downs. And I've always just really enjoyed Peter as a person. I've wanted him to speak a number of times. This is the first time I was able to get him to speak. Peter, come on up here and manifest amazingness.
Please Pete's final moments on Earth.
Yo, here we go. What's up, everybody? My name is Peter Kell. I'm the founder of Genius.ai. Today, I'm here to talk about what I think is the dopest fucking shit on the planet, right? Because it can help take the biggest opportunities in the world and have them fall effortlessly into your lap. I'm going to talk about how to manifest life-changing opportunities. Let's rip this thing. Pay attention. So a few years ago, I was sitting on my balcony in Miami, just pissed the fuck off. Just frustrated. I was running a media buying house. I had 4 affiliate media buyers. We were doing e-commerce as an affiliate. We were just burning money. I had 4 video editors, 4 media buyers, a copywriter, and John Benson, and we were doing VSLs all day long, and we were losing. I was like 200 grand in debt. None of my stuff could work. I was on like this 4-month losing streak where I just couldn't get things to pop. This is my old buddy Joel Welsh. We were working together during the time. And I just, worst of all, my mind had been lost. I had lost like this hustle, like this old motivational drive that I used to have. And I'm sitting there smoking weed, writing in my journal, just talking about it. Like, dude, what? I used to be like fucking so on top of it and so fire. And I just can't get it back. And I remember I had this mentor a long time ago. He was like, oh, if you want to just make more money, just track how much money you make every day. So every day for a few years, I would put on a graph how much money I made. And I'm like, bro, I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, man, this isn't the first time I've been in a struggling situation. Like, this fucking used to suck back here, and then life would take off, and then shit would bomb, and it would explode again, and I'd get into crypto and lose it all, and stop working, and then it'd blow up again, and then I'm like, man, I've been here before. This isn't the first time that I was sitting here just trying to like figure out how to get things going. And I was sitting here, I'm like, man, I wonder what I was thinking about like back over here, right before things first popped off, and then back over there right before things took the fuck off. I wish I could just get back to that drive and figure out what I was thinking about. And I was like, one day, holy shit, my journals. I used to be a Tony Robbins fan. He's like, a life worth living is a life worth recording. If you're gonna live a dope life, you should be tracking it. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been putting in like 200 journal entries a year for like 7 years. I got like 1,000 journal logs. I can literally go back to the week before life exploded to get this mindset back and see what I was kind of thinking about. And I go back into my journals and I start to discover the most amazing thing. Every single time, in all fucking 3 times right before life was about to take off, there was a constant feeling that something amazing was about to happen in the journal. It was like, I don't care what fire has been going on, what problems have been in my life. The winds of change are here. something amazing's about to happen. It was just this vibe that like suddenly I was outside of the pain that I was in and into this new breeze world before anything had changed. And even in one of the journals, there was this massive fucking highlighted sign that said something amazing's about to happen. And I was like, whoa, it looks to me like the more I'm focusing on the amazing things in my life starts to take off, right? Something amazing started to happen. I was like, I'm an affiliate, I want to put this to the test. You guys remember that day 1, day 7, day 30 shit? Let's put that shit to the test. So I take this sign and I hang it in my shower, so I see it every day, and I hang it in my living room, and I put it on a notepad, and I put it on the back of my t-shirt, and I make it the sub-logo to my company, and just start to feel and get into this energy like something amazing is about to happen. You guys know like how some people are just like cursed with bad things that just happen to them, like Jason popping his tires all the time? Something happened where it was like the opposite began happening, where like miracle little pieces just started falling together on their own. I remember just like talking to a friend and getting this guy who had a skincare brand, and he let us be an affiliate for his offer, and we got back to 30 grand a day, and then he's like, oh, stop doing the traffic, we want to take it, and we're like, oh, let's start our own skincare brand. I just happened to meet this amazing business partner who knows how to do all the manufacturing shit that I can't do. And then I just start DMing all the dermatologists in Miami, find this great dermatologist all of a sudden, right? We got our products made. We decided we're going to shoot our first like world-class VSL shoot, like 25-minute VSL shoot. My first official one. We fucking launched that shit, and it just goes nuclear all of a sudden. All these fucking little tiny things just started popping. We were doing 100 grand a day almost immediately. By our third month, we did $4 million a month in sales on a fucking brand that I was 50-50 partners in, that I owned, that wasn't some affiliate crap, that had enterprise value that I could sell one day. I mean, I was freaking out. I was like, guys, I'm not an affiliate. I own a brand. Are you kidding me? It's working. We did like 100 grand a day every day for 8 months in a row. I went on the biggest win streak at my time of my life, and I was just like slowly begin to sinking into this idea that like, maybe life's this game of boomerang. Maybe the energy that I'm putting out to the universe is coming back to me a little bit later in a different kind of form that makes me feel that same kind of energy again. We ended up doing, by the end of the first year, we hit $40 million in sales on a brand new brand. I got myself a white little Lambo, put a roof rack on it, snowboarding all the time in Vail. That was crazy. But even deeper, I had become such a deep fan of this phrase that something amazing is about to happen that I was like, fuck, I got to work with this shit. So I tattooed it on my arm. It stands for something amazing is about to happen, so I remember that shit forever. But the point of this is, who else thinks that there's some weird shit going on in the universe? Anybody? You know that thing called gravity that's like this invisible force that happens to affect everybody? Is that the only invisible force on the fucking planet that could be affecting anybody? I just want to open that question up really quick. I never wanted to be into fucking spiritual shit, right? I was like this, I was a skateboarder, right? I worked at a skate shop. I didn't go to college. I got a job at a skateboard shop. Then I realized I'd be sleeping on floors broke for the rest of my life. So I had to move back into my parents' basement in the middle of the woods. I was 45 minutes away from the closest bar with girls at 21 years old. I was devastated. I was trapped there like a prison, right? Just alone and just hating my life, feeling like this precious part of my early 20s were being sacrificed for nothing. It was all just going to shit. Thankfully, my dad was addicted to buying how to get rich on the internet courses for $5, and he would send them to me. As I wouldn't even get out of bed, I was just in bed all day long. And one day he sends me this program, and it's super fucking aggressive. It's like, hey man, it's a sales page. Do you feel like a loser? Do you live in your parents' basement and wish you could drive Lambos and live on the island in your Caribbean and make money on the internet with your feet in the sand and date hot Swedish women as you travel around the world? I was like, fuck yes! Holy shit, yes! But even deeper than that, I had saw this vision, because I had sacrificed my early 20s. I was like, if I could just find a way for this to be worth it, if I could become rich in my late 20s, that would be fucking worth it. I would trade my early 20s for rich later 20s all day long. I would do that. So I just start going on this hell-bent fucking mission on how to make money on the internet, end up failing 7 businesses in a row. And the point of this story is just to tell you about how I got into spirituality. I did all the basics, right? All right, how do you get rich on the internet? I got to read all the business books and the sales book and the marketing books and psychology and advertising. I read all these books, and then I hit this glass ceiling, right, where I started self-sabotaging. I ended up getting evicted and had to move back into my parents' basement after a year of being there for another year. And then I'm like, all right, what the fuck was that? So I started reading all the subconscious mind books, like Psycho-Cybernetics, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Power of Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And that was really cool. I started feeling like I was getting past my limiting glass ceilings. And then there was this last piece I couldn't get a grasp on, where the wheels on the bus would fall off the bus on their own. It was like, I'm ready to fucking level up and get there, but it was almost like just, just some bad shit just happens to you out of nowhere. It's like, what the fuck was that? So after failing my 7th business, I got evicted, I got my car repossessed, I got sent to my fucking sleeping on my friend's floor, I got sent to sleep on an even worse floor with cockroaches on it, and at the bottom of it, I read the last book I would ever read before my life took the fuck off. It was this book called Conversations with God, and if you haven't read it, it's a story about an old man who just broke his neck and lost all of his money and had terrible relationships. He looks up at this guy, he's like, fuck you, motherfucker! He's like, why is life's always got to be a struggle? Why does money always have to be tight? When is my life going to take off? And he hears this voice. Do you really want to hear an answer to that? He's like, yeah. So he just starts writing this shit down. He writes 4 days, this book that gets 10 million copies. And I'm reading this thing, and I was so confused. I was like, how is it that I could be trying so hard to be successful, but just achieve the opposite? The worst possible situation. And part of the ideas inside of this book was, hey, you might be controlling your reality a little bit more than you think you are, right? A little bit of what you've been putting out, what you've been getting back, might be because of your own creation. I'm a big believer that one of the last things anyone learns at rock bottom is the fact that you create your reality, and you've been creating your reality, and you've been creating it this entire time based off your thoughts, based off your imagination, based on what you're saying to yourself, your words. It's the last thing that people do before their life picks back up after fucking rock bottom, is you've been creating the whole thing. And part of his whole idea was I had been wanting to be rich. There's this idea that he talks about the sponsoring thought. The sponsoring thought is the thought that manifests. The sponsoring thought is, oh, I want to be rich. Oh, what does that mean? That means you're not rich, and the universe is like, oh, I'm going to make sure you're not rich. I'm going to make sure I self-sabotage everything, and I just throw everything the way that'll cause you to finally become that'll cause you to just make sure it doesn't happen. Versus that stuff. You guys have already heard this, affirming, the fake it till you make it kind of stuff, where you start affirming, I am rich before you ever get there, or I'm a fucking whatever till you ever get there. Start making those affirmations. After I started practicing this, again, I started fucking entering this vortex of amazing things. I got a job at a media buying company. I started this mastermind. I met this crazy motherfucker who took me in and gave me a credit card, Jason A. in the back. He takes me in. I'm like, bro, they're some of the biggest Facebook media buyers on the planet. I'm like, can I come over to your house and can you teach me how to do this? He's like, yeah, sure. Look at this. This was my wallpaper for 2 years, visualizing. This was the front of his house when I got there, right? There's some weird shit going on in this planet, guys. We're not just meat suits, right? There's some invisible forces going. That was my iPhone background for 2 years. That was when I arrived at his house. And it continued. One of my other visions was making money with my feet in the sand in the Caribbean. So I bought these pictures of fake windows, and I would sit there and just imagine I was in the Caribbean. And then one day, his business partner's like, hey, I'm moving to St. Bart's. You want to come? I married this girl. She manages mansions on the island. We're going to go live in the mansion. Do you want to come? That's me at 26, balling out. That's me at 25, 26, balling out of control. Listen, guys, all I care about is what fucking works. That's all I cared about. I didn't want to be spiritual. It was just the last thing that really took it all off for me, right? There's this good book by The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Shin, and she talks about the game of life is a game of boomerang. You get back what you throw out. Those negative emotions, if you sit with them, if you sit and you sink in with them, I don't have this, I don't have that, these lack things, Those are boomerangs you send out. Any bad karma you do to other people, those are boomerangs you send out, and the bad karma is the boomerang you threw back out and got back to you. But the opposite is true. The positive energy, the positive emotions that you send out, when you send them out, it can come back to you in amazing, amazing ways. Has anyone ever heard of quantum jumping? I'm at Mind Valley. This is a cool technique that I learned there. It's this idea that when you were a kid, you had all these dreams, right? You want to be a rock star, you want to be a billionaire, you want to be an astronaut. Well, quantum jumping is this idea that time is not one fucking flat line, that there is a million different universes where every one of your dreams came true. Every version of you that could have ever been anything came true in all these different universes. They all exist. And quantum jumping is the idea that by looking into that version, you as the astronaut or you as the AI fucking billionaire, that version exists in a universe. And by visualizing yourself from that space, you can begin to bend the reality to have the world move towards where you're going, which is pretty freaking crazy. This is a skill that is easy to lose. It's easy to remember, it's easy to lose. But to me, this is like fucking some secret power kind of shit that I want to dive into you guys really quick, and I really want to hit this thing home with a story. So, after our first year of 40 million, I was stoked out of my mind, but I was also really pissed, right? Because I like moving fast. I didn't want to be an affiliate forever. I didn't want to be a fucking e-com brand owner forever, doing skincare forever, right? I didn't even want to be doing VSLs forever. It was all just a tool to get to a different chapter in my life that I could evolve into. But somehow, with the team that I had at this company, we were going to build like a portfolio of brands and do like one of the Golden Hippo equity plays where you build like 5 different brands that all are like doing 8 figures, and then you can sell it for a bunch of money and that kind of thing. That was the plan. But my team wanted to do that very slowly. And we were getting ready to do this plant-based stem cell company that I just fucking thought the unique mechanism was bullshit, and I wasn't a fan. And I remember going to San Francisco. I was at this place called the Hoffman Center, and I'm walking up to the top of this like mountain. There's like fucking cows mooing in the background, and I'm just like kind of pissed, and I need to have a conversation with God because I need to fucking get some answers real quick, right? And I'm up there, and I'm like, God, you and I both know I can do way more fucking shit with my life if we're super rich and super stacked. And we both agree with that. It's totally true, right? But what the fuck's the plan? Like, and young at the same time, not like 80, young at the same time. But what's the deal with this scenario? I happen to be in this business that's never gonna come true. What the fuck's going on? Are we gonna do this or not? And you heard this voice back. It's like, yeah, you can do it. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not in a situation where we're gonna do this. It's not gonna happen. You got it. Like, don't tell me I got it if I don't got it. He's like, you got it. You're fine. Relax. And I just feel this wave of like, just relaxation, right? There's this amazing quote called faith is feeling, right? Proof that you have faith is the feeling that you have. If you really believe something amazing is what's about to happen, you'd be feeling like something amazing was about to happen. And that's the boomerang that begins to send out. So I feel this super relaxed feeling, and I'm like, all right, let's pray really quick. God, thank you for having such an amazing fucking plan for my life, right? We all have an amazing plan for our life. The universe, whatever, it has some dope fucking shit for every one of you inside of this room. The dopest thing you could ever imagine. Imagine a 10 out of 10 life. The dopest life you could ever live. God's plan, the universe's plan, is fucking so good you can't even imagine it, right? You coming up with your dope plan is limited by your own imagination. The 11 out of 10 life is the universe's fucking plan for you. And when you tune into that, you can get there. So I'm praying. Thank you for giving me such a fucking amazing plan. Thank you for making the path so easy and clear to see. No riddles. Don't give me any riddles. I need kindergarten simple direction, right? Don't like fucking give me some weird fucking stars I have to fucking map out. Just tell me what to do and kindergarten answers, and we'll rip it. Thank you so much. And I just walked down this mountain feeling really good, like something amazing is about to happen. A month later, I walk into my office, and my team's fucking pissed at me, right? Because even though we were still doing this new skincare brand, this skincare brand, my soul had left the building. right? And I wasn't very stoked about it. And these guys were mad at me because they were working really hard, and I was just kind of just exited in my own brain. I wanted to like go spend 400 grand to hire some big ass celebrity to do a crazy VSL for us because that was the next level. Everything has to be the biggest shit you've ever done. It really is. If you have a VSL business and you're making another VSL that's just as fucking mediocre as the last one, you're blowing it. Everything's got to be the biggest shit you've ever done in your life. And we weren't doing it, and I checked out, and they were pissed, and it was kind of like a mutiny situation, and I was really scared. But my business partner, thankfully, was a super badass business guy, and he offered me a big 7-figure bag of cash if I just wanted to take it right now and bounce out. And at first, I was terrified, because we had just gone on this insane run. We were very lucky with the run, and I was like, oh, fuck. And then I realized, holy shit, God's plan, I forgot. Okay, this is what we were talking about. Like, crypto's coming up right now. Crypto's coming up. Holy shit, we're on the next cycle. Like, I made my first million in the last cycle, and then I lost it all, but I think if I had a second shot and a bunch of money, I think I could pull it off and get like a 20X and go get all jets and shit and just have a blast. I'm like, all right, this is it. So I'm like, all right, here we go. I take the bag, exit the company, sell all my cars, throw everything in a storage unit, move to like Stockholm, Sweden, just to go start doing this while traveling around the world. And I do my very best work. I'm like, here we go, full time. I'm dropping it in crypto. We're gonna get a 20X. I'm gonna be the earliest in any project ever. I'm like I'm building tools to scan the Binance blockchain to look for people that just put in like 20 grand to do a new blockchain. And I'm like, I'm gonna be the first one in with a lot of money. End up getting myself in a situation slowly over time. And investing's not my strong suit. I'm a creator. If you look at like my personality test, it says, you're amazing at creating. Timing, 0. Like a half a wheel. Like I'm rolling like a champ and then bam. So I end up taking basically $2 million and I put $1 million here and $1 million there and I call that my YOLO investment. One of them goes to 0 and the other one goes to like $6.5 million and I'm fucking stoked. I'm like, we are ripping it. This is it. We're ripping it right now. It's happening. And then I go take a bunch of ayahuasca in Costa Rica. And I'm like, I'm going to be gone for 6 days on like some heavy drugs. Should I sell it all? Fuck it, I'll put some more money in real quick. And then I just close my laptop. Wrong move. I end up getting back. It's down to like, I open up my laptop 5 days later. It's down to like 1.3 million. I'm like, oh, fuck. I go to sell 100 grand and it like tanks it even more. All my friends are in there. They're freaking the fuck out. They're like, bro, but there's like developers, there's like people, your friends in there. If you sell everything, you're gonna kill everything. And I'm in this situation. We're like, what the fuck do I do? Like, and I'm just thinking there, I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it ride. Fuck it. I think there's gonna be another boom, right? A way bigger one. 3 months later, I rode that shit down all the way to 300 grand, pulled it out, and I was bucked, right? I'm devastated. I'm hopeless. I'm sitting in a hotel room in Stockholm burning money by the day with no job, no team, no product, no business, and no drive. I didn't even want to do it again. I don't want to do it again. Holy shit, we're fucked. So I go back out to this park in Stockholm and I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, guys, we're gonna have a conversation. You and I both know I can do way more with my life if I'm super fucking rich. You told me this was the plan. It doesn't look like this is the plan. What's the plan? And I don't need to know the plan. And I just hear the voice again. It's like, bro, you're good. You're chill. Chill the fuck out. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, this is even worse than the last spot. He's like, you're good. Relax. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, okay. God says we're good. I'm just going to go fucking figure some shit out. And I remember going back. I'm like, how am I going to get out of this thing? I'm like, fucking, there's only one way. It's manifesting. I'm going to manifest my fucking way out of this fucking shit. It's the only way. I'm not going to go to business. I'm not going to business my way out of this. So I go to the library. I go to the WeWork in Stockholm, and I start studying. I'm going to catch myself up on all the manifesting wisdom there is, right? I find this guy named Neville Goddard, who's just a legend. And I'm going back through, and he's like, remember, the reason why people fail to manifest anything. Think about this. If you want to be able to do something that 99% of people can't do, you have to do something that they're not doing. what is the one thing that nobody can do with their mind that allows the most successful people to manifest and 99% of people to fuck it up? And he's talking about how the root cause of why they can't manifest is lack. It's this statement of lack, constant statements of lack. He's talking about shit like, let me go back to this picture, right? We're not in the Caribbean, right? No one's fucking in the Caribbean. We're all sitting here in New York. That's me. I was just sitting there in Las Vegas. But that's me too, and I'm there in the Caribbean. Am I in the Caribbean or am I in fucking Las Vegas? Both are true, right? But most people can't look down. Think about the most amount of money you've ever made in a month. Double it. Look at yourself and being like, oh, I'm making $1 million a month right now. You can't believe it. Your subconscious mind says no. That's the sponsoring thought. It says no, therefore you manifest no. But the problem is you're looking down. You're not looking into the life in the future, that part of the universe where you are making $1 million a month. And when you begin to learn how to do that, you can begin to create your reality and begin to bend the universe to your will towards yourself. He's talking about what is the one thing that if you manifested would solve 90% of your problems. What's the one fucking thing that if you got into your life would solve everything? The biggest opportunity falling right into your lap, what would it look like? I'm like, oh, that's a business partner who's a mentor. Not just a business partner, but somebody who's 10 years ahead of me. I'm too young to not be growing. I'm too fucking young to not have people around me that are fucking better than me. A business partner who's a mentor. And I start fucking visualizing this stuff. And he's like, what would it feel like, right? You got to throw that boomerang out to the universe. Like, even though shit's hitting the fucking fan and there's firing all around you, I got to feel like I have a business partner who's a mentor and I have a light in the fucking tunnel that says everything's going to be good. We're going to pull this fucking shit off. And I start throwing that shit out every night, just feeling it. 10 days later, I get invited on a boat trip to Croatia with some of my Stockholm friends that I was with. And one of the motherfuckers on that boat is this guy. His name's Vishen Lakiani. It wasn't a gay trip. It was a mouse-cat party. But I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, bro, how's Mind Valley? I love Mind Valley. I used to study Mind Valley all the time. He's like, oh, we're going through a hard time. We're doing these webinars. We lost $6 million last quarter. You lost $6 million? I fucking lost $6 million. You lost $6 million? Are you kidding me? And we're hanging out. We become friends. Things are good. I'm at the end of the trip. I'm like, bro, I'm so sick of sleeping in hotels. Where do you live? He's like, oh, I live in Estonia. I was like, great. I'm going to sleep at your house. He's like, okay. So on the plane ride over, I'm like, oh, I'm going to break down some of his advertising campaigns. And I'm like, this is fucking VSL heaven. Authority figures, professional footage, badass fucking media buying, all these different niches. I'm like, holy fucking shit. Oh my God. I had been praying. A lot of people pray for strength. A lot of people pray for greatness. I was praying to become world-class in VSLs and media buying. And some people don't catch the fucking clues that when God gives you a bunch of weight that you need to carry, that's your answer to your prayer that you want to be strong. Those are the weights you need to start pulling. Those are the gifts that God sent you for you to become great. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. Did God just take away all my money and force me to fucking do this Mind Valley shit with no way out? And I remember going to Vishen's house and being like, yo, Vishen, what's your Wi-Fi password? He's like, oh, it's $10 billion. $10 billion. My Wi-Fi password's $170 million. How much equity would I need to have in Mind Valley to make $170 million if they're worth $10 billion? Well, that's like 1.7%. That's like nothing. Holy shit, Vishen. Hey, man, if I build you this VSL department that gets to like $1, $2, $3, $4 million a month, will you give me like X percent in Mind Valley? And will you pay me like 5% on all the VSL revenue I generate for you guys? He's like, sure. Boom, we're back in fucking business. Are you kidding me? It's fucking game on time. It goes 6 months, white knuckling, fucking the most hardcore shit that I had done so far. And it really hits me home by this. This shit was so fucking hard. We made 32 VSLs that were over a half hour long by the time that I was there. And I fucking realized, bro, if I had all this money, I would have fucking given up on this shit. I love Mind Valley. They're a life-changing, earth-changing company. And I just fucking had it all my backup plan taken away. And 6 months later, we manifest one of the biggest fucking campaigns in the world, right? These are my ads on VidTal. I had the top 1, 2, and 4th ad in the world on VidTal. I was so fucking stoked. I was sitting in Mallorca Ian texts me. I'm watching the Machine Gun Kelly documentary. He's like, oh, I want to be the best in the world. It's like, I used to have my affirmation all the time. And he texts me. He's like, you're number one. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? End up automating everything there. This thing ended up being a 6-figure a month autopiloted income for me because they pay me royalties and all the VSLs. I ended up selling back the equity I had at Mind Valley to be doing better than I was before I started with my skincare stuff. And just this begun the new fucking adventure of teaching, and then now we're deep into the fucking AI space. And the reason I'm telling you guys this stuff is there's some other shit going on, bro. There's this vibe, the energy you put out, bro. This is the most important thing you could possibly doing, is visualizing that next version of yourself. The more often you see the end result, start with the end result in mind, the more likely you are to bring it into your life. My name is Peter Kell. Something amazing about to happen. Thank you so much for having me. Bada boom. There we go.
That's dope, dude. I have a question for you, though, and it's hard to ask questions about these type of talks. So what's next, dude? Where does it go next?
So, I mean, I was fucking talking about manifesting, and this guy's like, well, manifesting's real. Why don't you just become a billionaire? I'm like, okay. I mean, I've been like just calling myself an AI billionaire for the last year, right? And just been going down this road, and it's always the same thing. It's impossible. There's no light in the tunnel, whatever. So I started teaching people VSLs, and then I realized the new people sucked at VSLs, so I made VSL.ai to make it easier for them. Then I met a neighbor who owned an MLM, a big multi-level marketing company. He's like, hey, bro, can you build AI for MLM companies? Now we have Genius.ai, and now we're in talks with like Amway, Avon, companies that do multiple $1 billion a year, with white labeling our tool, Genius.ai, and just dominating the whole MLM space with AI. So just using what I fucking preach, honestly.
Can I ask another question?
Go.
A little bit harder.
Yeah.
So look, you have the ups and you have the downs, okay? Were the downs caused by that you wanted to go up and you needed the downs to get to the next up? Or did the downs come because you weren't thinking something amazing was about to happen?
Well, most of my downs come from thinking something amazing is about to happen, but I mean, in reality, losing all that money was the best thing that happened to me. I can't tell you how many times the downs ended up being the best fucking thing to ever happen to me. It's just this next evolution where you evolve out of it. So, but no, it comes from missing gaps in like crypto, for example, right? It comes from crypto where I suck at trading. Me moving from my creative state into a trading state, that's where I get wrecked. But downs definitely come when you start soaking yourself in that negative energy and you start looking at negativity, start surrounding yourself with negative people. You've become a shit magnet when you're doing complaining, blaming, not taking responsibility. You're a shit magnet. Stay away.
You're also one of the most well-read people that I know.
Yeah.
What are the books to go at if you were to be like, hey, 3 books besides Conversations with God?
Yeah.
What would they be?
My second favorite book is Psycho-Cybernetics. Right? It's bro. I mean, that's it. Your identity is what's creating your subconscious mind is fucking affecting everything. So, a classic Think and Grow Rich banger, and then I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan, so Awaken the Giant Within will just change your whole life on a real deep level. It's all mindset stuff. Yeah, getting you in that.
And with the AI stuff, where do you see that going? For us as a society, It's so not manifesting, it's so digital, it's somewhat soulless.
Yeah.
How do you put those two things in a juxtaposition?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that AI can go, for sure. Right now, the opportunity with AI is any skill that takes time to learn, the skill gap is now being deleted with AI. So AI can make anyone an 8 out of 10 great without them having to be good anymore. Before you had to study and practice and learn in order to be great, now it's really taking away that. And I mean, the new AI music stuff is fucking terrifying. It's phenomenally good. And there's these little pivots, these little I mean, I'm frankly really happy to be an AI because I don't have to deal with the anxiety of not being an AI. Honestly, it's like, right?
I know, I feel like a schmuck. Every time I see where I'm not involved, I'm like, fuck, am I missing it? Or am I being smart and waiting till it gets better and easier?
So right now, it's the game of the models, right? Everyone's talking about, oh, Claude 3, oh, ChatGPT 4, oh, fucking Llama 3 just came out, right? Next year, no one's going to give a fuck about models. It's all going to be about what did you build with the tools. New Lego pieces are being invented right now, and what you built is what's going to matter. Everyone's going to be talking about what you can do with those things now. But right now, it's just new Lego pieces, yeah.
Peter, thank you so much, brother. As I said, I wanted you to talk for a while. You crushed it.
Thank you, guys.